Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Nat. I'm here today with a project from Mirtillamente. Hopefully I've got that right. A little Italian based company with some super cute little images. What I was just showing you there, quite often I will print out, if I'm ever a little bit, how am I going to color him? How am I going to shade it? I will print out another image and use a pen. I've mentioned this once before, and use a pen just to sort of roughly sketch in where I want my shadows to be, and that sort of helps me get a bit of a jump start to it all, really. So this little image is called Santa Oops. I think he's pretty stinking cute. So he's got himself almost a little bit stuck down the old chimney there. The colors that I'm going to use today are some red favorites of mine: R89, R46, 89, 46, R24 and R22. And we're just sort of working through that. He's going to have a little bit of shadow at the top of his little tushy, and also at the bottom where his pants have his little fluffy rim. So I think he's had a little bit too many cookies. We're going to digress for a minute. I have been a little bit AWOL lately, and there's quite a few reasons for that. Some we will have a chat about today, and some we won't talk about. You know, life happens. Life is always what happens in these situations that prevent us from doing something we love to do. So the couple things that I will talk about today is I have decided to be a little bit crazy, and I've signed up for another course. So this is Certificate 4 in Disability, because I am an Auslan support worker here in Australia, which Auslan is Australian Sign Language. I think I might have mentioned it once before, but just if you're new, that's what I do. So there is a lot of flapping of hands, basically. Maybe I've always been someone that talked a lot with my hands. I am not of any European descent, but it is something that I've always gone ahead and done. So, it's all fun and games. It was meant to be that that's what my pathway in life is. So I'm doing that. So I am making a few changes for next year, which is some of it's a bit sad, some of it's, exciting, but it's a process, and I will still be making videos, because this is not an easy thing to do sometimes, but it can be a lot of fun. And especially when I have lots of so super sweet people that comment on my videos, and when they know me and they see me in person, they are so sweet. I'm still going through with the same reds. We'll come back to the card in a minute. Come back to our chat in a minute, I should say. Still going through our reds. I'm keeping relatively sort of a bit of a mixture between all the colors in the same setting. The only difference is we're going to do a little bit of brickwork. So we'll interrupt our conversation yet again for that later. So that's number one exciting thing. I feel like I need to do it. But it'll be good. It'll be interesting. Number two, my 17, nearly 18-year-old has decided to leave school, which is fine. I am not a parent who likes to, you need to do this. This is what you're going to do. You're going to be a doctor. We're not a family of doctors, but you're going to be a doctor like Grandpa Joe. That's not going to happen. So he's decided to leave school. So I said, okay, these are my 2 rules. You need to have a full-time job because he's leaving school early. Strictly speaking, he's done his 13 years of schooling. Here in Australia, we do 13 years. I don't know about anywhere else. But he repeated threat 3 rock hinder. Let's come back to that. Okay, our brickwork. As you can sort of see, the way this image is being drawn, it's like it's got a little lip on the top. I don't know, that's pretty standard for chimneys. We don't really have them here. Well, not very often anyway. What I'm using is a whole big combination. So we've got E19, W5, E13, W3, E31 and W1. Okay, so it's a real mixture. So it's going to give us that sort of warmy grey, reddy grey sort of toning of our brickwork. I did another image, I think my very first image on the design team of Mirtillamente. I did like a whole bunch of warm greys with the W5s, and I can't remember what layers I went up to. But what I'm basically doing is trying to just give the impression of the brickwork that has dimension. So on the bottom right, I've made like an L shape, and on the top right I've done another L shape, but obviously it's so the bottom goes across and the top goes across. And what you do is you tend to have little flicks through the brickwork to just give it a little bit of definition and a little bit of contrast. So it's got a lot of texture in it. I'm not looking for a super smooth blend like I would with my Santa sack or Santa's pants. I want, it's like when you color the hair of an image, you want that texture in it because bricks clearly have that texture. So that's what we're working through there. So I'll give some more close-ups over on the blog of that. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more of how I do that, I will let me know in the comments down below. And next time I have an image that I can use for some bricks, I will try and slow that down so you could see that a bit easier. And what I ended up doing, I think I Googled some brickworks and sort of images, and some of them were the ones that I used before. They had the warm greys, and then you had the reds combination that we're using here today. So the other colors that we're using for our presents are BG 78, 75, 72, and BG 000. The yellow that we're using is E57 to give it a little bit more depth. YR23, Y17, and Y15. The fluff on his trousers, we're keeping it pretty simple because we're going to add a little bit more texture for the snow, and which is what we're doing now. So I'm just trying to walk with the snow and sort of give it a little bit more roundness. Like we've already got it that the top is sort of scallopy. So we're just trying to enhance that a little bit. The same with the snow down the bottom. We're going to not give it little flicks, but we're going to give it a little bit more shape and sort of the puffiness over there. You could see that there. It's the same sort of thing. Similar thing we've done to the Santa sack, but we're not doing it quite as much. And just working through our C4, C2, C... Oh, did I go down? Yep. And just a little bit of O, like the blender pen, just to soften those out. The browns are just going to be for, it's the same sort of range as the yellows, but I'm not going really, really yellow. It's just going to have that mostly more brown. You know, you can change everything around with how much of the darker color you put in and how much of the lighter. The boots are going to be black. So we've got just with our 100, our C9, our C5, our C7 and C5. And my 100 pen and my C7 need to be re-inked. They're currently sitting on my desk waiting for that, but I need to find myself another. Need to buy some re-inkers. So going back to my son. So I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. You know, he wanted to leave school, and you know, I don't agree. This is my personal thoughts. I don't agree with pushing someone to stay at school if it is clearly not for them. So James, I always said that he would be, if one was going to leave school, it would be him, because he likes working with his hands. So it's sort of come to fruition. We got to the end of year 11 before I sort of went, oh, maybe he'll go through, but he didn't. Unfortunately, I did buy the books for next year, but the shop took those back, so that was really, really good. So what is James doing? James is going to be currently working, as I said. Let's go back a bit again. I told him what I wanted. He started looking at TAFE. The next night, that was going to be $16,000. The next night, I said to him, why don't you look at apprenticeship, mate? You know, here in Australia, they pay for your TAFE. So within the next 24 hours, he applied for jobs and was offered a position, which is where he is. So he is an apprentice chef. Quite a distance away, which leaves Mama Bear a bit nervous, but especially when he travels home really late at night. But, you know, he's nearly 18. Mama Bear's got to let him go. So Mama Bear might get a few more grey hairs. But yeah, that's sort of what's gone through our life at the moment. So bear with me, I will be back. That's my card. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you don't mind my little chat. Take care. See you next time. Bye.